All right, as we continue to work through the products, I told you guys there are going to be a lot of product videos and a lot of information about stuff and a lot of use and tutorial type, or showing you how I use the stuff on my wheels and tires. So, or just detailing in general. So here is I think one of the most important parts of making my car look great. I think having the right finish on your tires makes a huge difference in what the overall sort of impact of like your car sitting out in the sun. Right? If you have too shiny of tires, it just looks weird. If they're not, if they're not a satin look, they look old and dirty. And so getting them clean and keeping them clean is something that, I don't know, it's one of my things that matters to me. And I've chased all these different brushes and all these different types of ways to clean the tires. You could use, you could use something like a brush like this to clean the tires with an all-purpose cleaner. You could just use the sponge that you're using, whatever you're using to clean the rest of the wheel. You could use, I don't know, there's lots of different things you could use. You can use one of those bigger brushes, those big handled brushes. I see a lot of people using those. I just don't like that. I want a little bit stiffer bristle, but I want control over it. So a lot of those boar's hair or softer brushes that a lot of people will use for the face of the wheel, I don't like doing that. Again, I like using my lambskin mitt. This is just a personal preference of my process. And I know a lot of people listen to what I say, or a lot of people just would rather have me vet it for them because they think like I do or have a similar mindset. And so my preference is not to use one of those big brushes, those big handle brushes. I don't even have any. I throw them. I've had probably 24 of them over the years, and getting them from companies sending them to me or buying and trying, and I've never ended up using them. I end up throwing them away. So this is what I use to clean. Even the tires in the Raptor, I still use this. It's a little small for that, but I still like to get into the little crevices of the bigger Nittos that are on that thing, the all-terrains that are on the thing. And so the bristles are relatively stiff. You can see them snap back here. But this brush is small enough that I can keep it on the tire. And so one of the issues with a lot of the bigger brushes, the ones that kind of cup the tire, those will, a lot of times you'll end up hitting the whole edge of the wheel, and you can tend to scratch it up. Especially I tend to have a lot of black wheels, and if the wheels are gloss black, they get really scratched up. So this helps me control. It also helps when I'm coming up against the edge of the fender well, which I'll show you on the car here. It helps to keep it in place. Helps make sure that I'm using it in the right spot. So that makes a pretty big difference on how, what the outcome is of the tire. I can really agitate it, spray it off, agitate, spray it off, agitate, spray it off, and get around the wheel or get around the tire, relatively efficiently. But it's very effective at getting the tire clean. So I use this almost exclusively with Adams rubber and tire cleaner. And so that this comes as part of the package, the wheel cleaning package. You don't need a lot of these. I bought a half a dozen of them thinking I would go through them all the time. I think my original one I still have. It's 4 years old or 3. I don't know how long I've been using it. Multiple years old, and so I have all these brand new brushes, and it cleans out and stays relatively neat. So you really don't need you don't need 5 of these. And you can buy them if you want. They're super cheap, but I think you really only need one. So save yourself the space in your cabinet. Don't buy 10 of them because it won't work out so well for you. So I'll go show you what it looks like in use on the car. We talked about the simplicity of this brush, the Tough Shine tire brush, and how easy it is to operate and control. So again, the thing I like about this brush so much more than others is my ability to control where it is in relation to both the end of the wheel and the fender. And so notice I don't have a lot of room here on this car, and so I'm able to hit largely just the tire and not bang up the fenders or scratch up the lip of the wheel. Now these are satin black, so it doesn't matter as much. So there's our Adams rubber and tire cleaner combined with our Tough Shine brush. And then we'll just simply spray it off. our wheel is done. I'll generally clean the brush off. All of my stuff is in the bucket, and we're good to go. Because what happens when the force pulls you back, your foot naturally comes off the gas. You have to keep your foot to the floor, foot to the floor.